Welcome to Faith Encouraged. I'm Father Barnabas. Here's today's homily.
Good morning. Christ is in our midst. I tell you what, you folks prove me wrong every time. I was at the beginning of the service today, I was thinking, well, you know, it's spring break, so nobody's going to be here. And look at you. Now we're practically full house. I'm proud of you. God bless you. I read an article the other day, and I love doing this stuff. I really do. I love reading different articles, and it was about The Knot. Have you heard about this organization called The Knot? It's actually an app you can go to, a website you can go to, and it's for brides. And for brides that are going to be tying the knot. And it gives all kinds of advice about how to do your reception and your wedding and so on and so forth. And I read it a couple of times because I couldn't believe it. In the United States, on an annual basis, Americans will spend about $7 billion a year on weddings and receptions. Holy moly. I'm in the wrong business. I need to start charging more for weddings, for heaven's sake. That's a lot of money. For something, in fact, what the article was talking about this reality, and it's amazing to me, folks. We live in the most prosperous time in human history. Period, full stop, end of discussion. We live in the healthiest time in human history. We live in the most, we have the most leisure time in human history. We have the most educated time in human history. The most technologically advanced in human history. And the number one drug sold in this country is antidepressants. You got to get a clue here. Somewhere, some way, our priorities have become completely skewed in the wrong direction. When we're spending $7 billion for weddings and receptions, because, you got to have the right band, and you got to make sure that, there's one consultant was telling the bride, now, dear, it's absolutely essential that you hire enough bartenders. Seriously, folks, think about this. We have so romanticized and so, shall I use the word, why not? It's just me. Fetishize this notion of romance and this fairy tale notion of what the marriage day is supposed to be. That the marriage day in this culture has now just overtaken the bride and the groom and the family. In fact, I can't tell you how many comedies I've watched about people preparing for the father of the bride. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie or not before, but it's just absolutely amazing. And we have so valued this illusion, this delusion, this fantasy in our minds. We've so valued, overvalued, triple valued this delusion and fantasy of what the day is supposed to be like that we forget to prepare for the rest of our lives together. We forget that the wedding day is the launching pad, not the finish line. But because our perspective is skewed towards the wrong things, or at least things that are not nearly as important as other things are, we have so lost the ability to prioritize the values of our lives because we live in such a throwaway society. That we can throw away, by the way, I don't know if I have figured it out yet. They make printers for your computer to be thrown away now, right? You know that, don't you? Nobody fixes computers. Nobody fixes the printers anymore. You just go buy another one. We live in such a throwaway society. Now we've gotten to the point we can throw away each other. The heartbreaking reality of this, my brothers and sisters, is that this flows from what the Apostle Paul was warning the people about today in his epistle lesson. And the reason why Jesus Christ has come to save us. Now you may think, well, Jesus came to save me from going to hell. That's not true. Jesus Christ came to save you from much things much worse than hell. Jesus Christ came to save you from a meaningless life. Jesus Christ came to save you from a purposeless life. Jesus Christ came to save you from a wrong-headed life. Jesus Christ came to save you from a shallow and frivolous life. Jesus Christ came to save you for something much more powerful than simply missing hell. And that's the reason why the Apostle Paul tells the people today that our high priest and our sacrifice is so much greater than the sacrifices of the Old Testament. And those sacrifices, if those sacrifices of the Old Testament, the blood of bulls and goats and the ashes of a heifer could sanctify, how much more does the blood of the Son of God sanctify us to moving away, watch this, here's the key, to moving away from dead works to serve the living God. Now be careful. In our modern American evangelical Protestant world, the idea of works salvation is completely and totally anathema. We're not saved by works. We're not saved by... Well, you'll hear them say it over and over again. They've got it memorized. I used to say it all the time. We're not saved by works. It's by grace we've been saved. But for what? The difference isn't between no works and just grace. Oh, I'm saved by grace. No. You've been saved to serve the living God. The difference isn't between dead works and no works. The difference is between dead works and living works. Works that are actually producing life in you and not just perpetuating death in you. But a wrong-headed idea about what our life is for, a wrong set of priorities, setting your values too low, setting your sights too low, setting your ideas too low, means that you're wasting the gift of God's life for you on frivolous, too small things. And when that happens, my angels, you live a too small life and you experience what it means to be gripped by the power of dead works. Works that aren't taking you anywhere except to a hole in the ground. I love our Orthodox funeral service because in the funeral service, one of the hymns says, and I won't sing it for you, but mainly because I don't remember all the words. But the idea is this grave, is this for a pauper or a king? Who knows? They're both the same size, whether it's for a pauper or a king. Dead works, brothers and sisters, means that you are wasting the gift of your life on things that are temporary. Serving the living God, notice what the Apostle Paul says there. Serving the living God means that you are investing your life gift, the moments of your life, the tick-tocks on the clock, instead of winding down to, oh no. In fact, I remember one elderly man who had lived a basically frivolous life. He looked at me and he said, you know, Father, I'm really tired of this life. I looked at him, I said, well, son, don't worry, it'll run out. It will. The older I get, the Social Security Service just sent me a Medicare card, for heaven's sake. Oh, don't laugh at that. This is horrible. This is a disaster. I'm too young. A mere babe, for heaven's sake. But the reality is, if I live my life asleep, if I live my life uninformed, and this is the reason why, brothers and sisters, I want to be careful because it's getting towards the end of Lent, and I really get really cranky about this time of the year. I get so amazed and so frustrated with people, especially those who have had this precious Orthodox faith their whole life. They're not even curious as to why the church teaches what she teaches. They don't even have a sense of curiosity about, well, why does the church worship the way we do? Is it just you say tomato and I say tomato? You like the smoke machines and the laser show, and I like the incense and the bells on the incense. Is that it? Is it just a custom? Is it just, oh well, we just prefer that? Is it being gripped by mere nostalgia? Really? Is that what this is all about? Because, brothers and sisters, when your life and your mind and your thoughts are not disciplined and set on higher things, when you're not set free from dead works, you're gripped by death. when you are set free by Christ, who loves you and has given himself for you to elevate your life so that you become by grace what Christ is by nature, then you go from dead works to serving the living God. But make no mistake about it, brothers and sisters, it isn't a difference between works and no works. It's a difference between is the work that you're doing producing death, or is the work you're producing life? And this morning, as we remember the life of St. Mary of Egypt, that woman who spent most of her life doing hard work, working hard, but working hard with the works of death. She was a frivolous and self-centered and promiscuous woman who was finally confronted by the grace of God and then went into the desert for the rest of her life and prayed for every person she had ever misused or misled or treated badly. She spent the rest of her life doing works that led her to life, not the works that she was doing before Christ that led her to death. And make no mistake about it, as you're sitting in this room right now, your works are producing either life or death in your life. Right now. How you set your priorities, how you spend your money, how you spend your time, how you spend the talents that God has given you, what you value, what you think is most important, uncovers, reveals, and shows to the entire universe whether your works are based on temporary desires or your works are based on true, eternal love for God. And make no mistake, brothers and sisters, there's no in between. It's either one or the other. As we approach the end of Great Lent and we step into the power of Holy Week, I want to challenge you to spend the rest of this Great Lent doing a spiritual inventory on where your life is headed and what your works are producing in your life. Are they the works of death, gripped by the temporary? Or do you have the courage, the humility, the grace, the curiosity even, to want to serve the living God? In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thanks for watching. If this ministry helps you, please like, subscribe, and share this video. It makes a huge difference. Go to Fr. Barnabas Powell at Substack and get our daily devotionals. To support us, you can visit faithencourage.org and click the donate link. You can also reach me by email at frbarnabas@faithencourage.org. God bless you, and remember to seek Christ above all else.